Hello everyone, Salt Shaker here. This is my waterproof Minelab Explorer 2. As you can see, it was modeled after the design done by Charles from upstate New York with a few changes. So let's dive right in. I'll show you what I did here. On the back we have the upper S shaft. I purchased that online from White's, I believe. And then on the back we have the battery pod just on the screws, and then inside there we have the 3-cell LiPo battery. As an alternative, if the battery dies, I can just use my 8-cell battery pack I fashioned for it. We have the brackets, which I made out of 3/4 aluminum, nothing special. And then we have the IP68 headphone jack, which as an alternative as well, I can always use my headphone adapter if I want to hook up anything else besides the current set that I have for this. The wires are essentially fished up through the shaft assembly, and the arm cuff I just purchased online from Plugger. The grip itself, I replaced the foam grip with it's a grip from a walking stick, or a trekking stick as it's called. I hate foam grips, so anybody who knows or deals with them, you know they spin around, they rip up and get muddy and so forth. Now the shaft assembly, the upper and lower, was salvaged from the original Explorer. I modified the upper shaft for the splice tube. As you can see, there's a hole I cut in here and brought out the cable. The splice tube allows me to essentially swap coils as I need to, and currently we have an 8x6 SCF on there. The splice tube itself is from my old cable installation days. It's a simple design. It's for coaxial cable, and you can basically just screw that down and the washer kind of clamps down on it, kind of like a cable clamp essentially. Not easy to find. I think you can get them out there though. In any case, we have the frame assembly. Now the frame is the version 2. The first version basically sat too low. This is the original frame, CNC'd out of aluminum, and redesigned it so it was going to sit a little higher. Plus we used 3/4 inch plexiglass, which cut the weight in half essentially. The clamp itself is 2 screws essentially with threaded inserts. I don't know if you can see them from here. There's a little bright in there, and then there's a pin that locks this whole assembly in place and basically keeps it from spinning around. The back, we have 1/8 inch PETG plastic. It's thermoform plastic, and I made this from a positive mold on my vacuum forming machine, which I got right here. I just made that for this project, and not an easy task, mind you. Probably the 3rd version I had to end up with here. And of course we have the cable glands, 1/4 cable glands. These are essentially injected with RTV, as well as 5-minute epoxy on the threads, just to be safe and added precaution to prevent any water from coming in. Now the front obviously is the most unique feature. It basically allows me to operate the machine as you normally have. Let's push on it. There we go. And you can see it fired up. The front is made out of 0.015 inch thermoform plastic. I have an extra piece here, as you can see. It's flexible and allows me to push the buttons. On top of that is just a frame to kind of seat all that in place and lock it down onto the gasket material, which is about 1/8 inch thick. This is just a rough cut I had. And then it's all just bolted in. There's about 17 stainless steel screws bolted all in. And that's pretty much it. There's a gasket on the back, of course, and it all tested out pretty good. So there you have it. Not an easy project. I don't recommend it to anybody. If you feel so inclined, if you would like to do this yourself, by all means, I have a link posted in the description of this video on a forum called detectingunderground.com, and within that that link is an attachment. It's a PDF. There's a parts list and frame templates that you can actually print out of this exact same frame and the lower clamp and make your own if you see fit. But as I said, I don't recommend it for anybody. This was an ongoing project, a lot of trial and error, but in the end it was fun. So I hope you enjoyed it, and thanks for watching.